Hello and welcome to another episode of Spanish with Ade Responde, answering the Cambridge IGCSE Spanish as a foreign language, May-June 2024, writing paper 4.2. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping straight into question 1. By now, I'm expecting you all to know how the questions come in. Question 1 is always a form that you have to fill. Question 2 is a short writing, and question 3 is an extended writing. So we're going to be jumping straight right into the answers, into my model answers for the questions. Okay, so the first one says fiesta de fin de curso. So the form is about a fiesta de fin de curso, which is a party at the end of the course, at the end of the term, right? So your name is Tony Sanchez, tu nombre es Tony Sánchez y quieres ir a una fiesta de fin de curso, tienes que completar una ficha. You have to fill this form en español, ¿sí? So your name, Tony Sánchez, your edad, which is your age, 15 años. Día preferido para ir a la fiesta, which is your preferred day to go to the party. We have sábado, right? You can also use lunes, martes, or miércoles, whichever day of the week you want to use in Spanish. Ropa para la fiesta, pantalones, una camiseta, a shirt. You also use abrigo, a jacket, okay? Una bufanda, a scarf, or whichever clothing item you want to use in Spanish. Y ahora, comida favorita. I'm expecting us to know a few foods in Spanish. If you don't know that, please, I need you to do a research on food items in Spanish, learn some, and be able to put your answers there. So, pero para la clase de hoy tenemos pizza. We have pizza, la pizza, y helado. Helado significa ice cream. You could also put arroz, frijoles, hamburguesa. These are just food items that you can use. Pescado. These are just food items that you can use in español. Y el medio de transporte preferido para ir a la fiesta. This is your preferred method of transport to go to the party. We have the autobus, which is the bus. You could also use carro, coche, which is car, or you could also use motocicleta, which is the motorcycle, bicicleta, which is the bicycle, or whichever method of transportation you want to use. You could also use avion, right, whichever one you want to use. So yes, this is a 5-mark question, which I always expect us to finish in the first 1 minute of the exam, so we can dedicate the remaining set of minutes to the writing question. So yes, that's all for number 1. Number 2 is a very important question everybody must also know how to answer, which is la rutina escolar, which is the school routine, right? So this is what you do before you go to school and also in school. Okay, so let's run through it. La rutina escolar, meaning your school routine. We have, your school routine. We have, ¿cuál es tu rutina antes de ir al colegio? What is your routine before going to the college? ¿Qué sueles beber en el recreo? What do you usually? Sueles from soler, meaning to use to do something. So what do you usually drink in the recess? What is your opinion on your timetable? Horario means timetable. Describe a tu profesor o profesora favorito o favorita. Describe your favorite professor by using their eyes or their personality, right? These are just examples of the markers you can use to describe your favorite professors. And then next week, what are you going to be doing? ¿Qué actividades vas a hacer después de la clase? What activities are you going to do after the class next week? See? So I'm going to be running you through my model answers in a bit, and please take notes, pay attention, and yes, let's jump straight into it. Antes de ir al colegio, this is a good time marker that implicates what I do before going to the college, right? So antes de ir al colegio, me despierto a las 6:30. I wake up at 6:30. So me despierto is from the verb despertarse, which is a reflexive verb. By now we should know reflexive verbs are actions that you do to yourselves, okay? Despierto a las 6:30, and also expression of time, a las 6:30 at 6:30. Me ducho, I have my shower or I bathe, right? They go hand in hand. Me baño or me ducho. Y desayuno cereales con, I have breakfast. Desayuno meaning I have breakfast. Cereales meaning cereal. con leche. Leche meaning milk, right? So I have cereals with milk for breakfast. Llego al colegio a las 7:30. I arrived to the college at 7:30. So it takes him an hour to arrive at college after waking up. Llego, arrive, from the verb llegar al colegio a las 7:30. Durante meaning during the recess, durante el recreo. Suelo beber zumo de naranja porque es refrescante. I usually, you usually, sueles, you usually. So I usually is suelo beber. I usually drink, beber meaning to drink, comer meaning to eat. Zumo de naranja, orange juice. Zumo de naranja meaning orange juice. Porque es refrescante, because it's refreshing. So refrescante en español, refreshing en inglés. Mi horario es bastante bueno. My timetable, horario significa timetable. So mi horario, from mi casa, mi horario, my timetable is very good. Bastante, quite good. My timetable is quite good. Pero los lunes, on Mondays, I have a lot of difficult classes. Tengo, from the verb tener, which means to have. So tengo is the conjugated verb for the first person singular. I have many classes that are difficult. So I have many difficult classes. See? Mi profesora se llama Marta. My professor is named Marta. Mi profesora, my professor favorita, my favorite professor is named Marta. And she has green eyes. So Marta, our favorite professor, has green eyes, and she's very kind. Ella es muy simpática, very kind and fun. She's fun to be with. So our teacher makes the class fun. And then la próxima semana, the next week, see, voy a participar en un club de teatro. I'm going to participate in a theater club, in a drama club. You could just call it that. I'm going to participate in a drama club. And I am also going to do my assignment. También meaning also. And then voy a hacer, which is a very near future tense. I am going to do my assignments in the library after the class. So she's going to be doing her assignments, or he is going to be doing his assignment in the library directly after the class. So immediately after the class, he's going to be doing his assignment in the library. So this is a very good 12-mark response to this. This is a very good 12-mark response to this question, and I would love you to adapt to this. You can also just change a few wordings in it, maybe like the food item or whatsoever it is you eat as your breakfast, or the time you wake up. These are things you could just tweak to make it more personal to you. But yes, this is a very good model to answer this question and make sure you knew your 12 marks. Okay, so I'm going to be going to question 3 now, 3A and 3B. I'm going to be running you through both of them. Una competición de surf. So we have to pick one of these two topics, either 3A or 3B. Una competición de surf, a surf competition. You did a surf competition with your college. Write an email about it, telling your experience, right, to a friend. When was the competition? When was the competition? What was the best or the worst of the competition? What was the advantages and the disadvantages of the competition? What other aquatic sports would you do in the future? Harás, from the verb hacer, in the future. It is irregular in the future. Harás en el futuro, in the future. What other aquatic sports would you do in the future? And explain why it is or it is not important to do sports in your opinion. And then what are the advantages, right? What are the advantages or the disadvantages of doing sports in teams? So what are the advantages of team sports? Okay, are disadvantages of team sports? And then question 2, we are going to be coming to that. But let me run you through my answer for the question 1 in a bit, right? So yes, I'm going to give you a few minutes to take down the questions. So these are the questions. I want you to take them down, take the questions down in a bit before I jump into the answers. So I'm just going to be giving you some 5 seconds. All right, so let's jump straight into the answer. So now you have the questions. Okay. La semana pasada obviously is last week. Last week I participated, which is participate from verb participar en el pretérito. I participated in a surf competition with my college in the beach. So I went to participate for my college in a beach in a surf competition. And it fue una experiencia emocionante. It was a very exciting experience. It was a very exciting experience and very fun. Y muy divertida and very fun. The competition was on Saturday. Por la mañana in the morning. And the weather was perfect. El clima estuvo perfecto. The weather was perfect. Now the good was when I won. Gané from the verb ganar. Ganar meaning to win or to earn. Synonym verb to win or to earn, right? So lo mejor fue cuando gané una medalla, was when I won a medal for my strength, for my efforts, and the work I did in groups, the work I did for my team, right? So the medal I won for my effort and then for working in the team. So my own personal medal and also the team medal that we won. Okay. Now the sad part was some students fell from the table in English, but in Spanish it will be some students dropped off the table, right? So on the table some students lost and they had to be kicked off the competition. That's just what this particular phrase means, this particular sentence. That's what it means. Lo peor fue que algunos estudiantes se cayeron de la tabla. Some students were dropped off the table. And then en el futuro, in the future, I want to try the aquatic skiing. So she wants to ski, or rather I want to ski in the ocean. En el futuro, I love to try the aquatic skiing because I love the ocean, porque me encanta el mar, because I love the ocean, so I want to ski there. Quiero que hacer deportes es muy importante. So in my own opinion, giving my own opinion now, what I think about the sports, right? About sports, what I think about it. Creo que hacer deportes es muy importante. So I believe that doing sports is very important. I believe that doing sports is very, very important for the physical health and the mental health. For physical and mental health. So doing sports is very important for physical and mental health. Now, besides, it helps to reduce stress. So sports also helps to reduce stress, or rather, aquatic sports help to reduce stress. Ayuda a reducir, meaning to reduce el estrés, stress. Hacer deporte en equipo, doing sports in teams, tiene ventajas, advantages. It has advantages like making friends, right? It has advantages like making friends, advantages como hacer amigos, making friends, y aprender a colaborar, and learning to collaborate. So working in teams or doing sports in teams, has advantages of making friends and learning to collaborate and work with people in teams, right? But at times it can cause what? It can cause conflicts within the members of the team. Yes, obviously people fight. So yes, pero a veces puede causar conflictos entre los miembros. If you notice here, I'm giving my opinion about something, giving my opinion about working in teams, not just if I like it or not. So yes, I like working in teams because it helps me make friends, helps me also collaborate, but then it could also cause conflicts within members. Okay, so that's just me giving opinions about what I think about working in teams, which is also a very brilliant way or a brilliant thing to factor in when answering these questions. En general, fue una experiencia increíble que quiero repetir. This is a very simple ending phrase, ending sentence. In general, it is a very, very beautiful, or rather, it was a very, very beautiful experience that I would love to repeat. So I wouldn't be dwelling on this much. This is my 28th mark. This is my 28th mark answer for this question. And I promise you this, if you adapt to this, this would give you a lot of marks if you do not make mistakes and just practice until it's perfect with you. Practice this, make some changes on things you feel you want to use to make it more personal. Just do that. But this answer here, this answer model is going to give you 28 marks fully because I used my tenses correctly. So now going to question B, we're talking about global problems, right? Now these two questions are from one of the toughest part of the IGCSE syllabus. So if you can ace these exams, if you can ace these papers, then I promise you other questions will be less difficult for you to ace because this is about global problems, right? So te interesan los problemas globales. So you are interested in global problems and you have to write an article for a school newspaper about this topic, right? For you, what is the worst global problem? Who recycles more in your family? What did you do last week to protect the environment? What other things should your college do to take care of the environment? And in your opinion, what will be the advantage or disadvantage of prohibiting cars in your area, in your zone? So I'm going to run you through the answers. So I want you to also just check through the questions, take the questions down, pause the video, take the questions down before I go into the answers. So without wasting more of your time, I'm going straight into the answers right now. Okay, so let me run you through my answer. So I start with in my opinion, obviously because you're writing an article for a newspaper, right? So you have to give your opinions, okay? In my opinion, the worst global problem is climate change. Yes, which I think we are experiencing right now. The worst is the climate change. El peor, the worst global problem is climate change. For me, it has always been climate change. En mi opinión, el peor problema global es el cambio climático, porque afecta a todo el planeta, because it affects all planets, right? Climate change affects all the planets together. Rather, it affects everybody on the planet. En mi familia, in my family, my mother es la que más recicla. My mother is the one that recycles more. Mi madre es la que más recicla. My mother is the one that recycles more. She separates the plastic. She separates the plastic, the glass, and also the paper every day. So she separates the glass, she separates the plastic, the glass, and paper every day, right? Every day, todos los días. So la semana pasada, last week, planté árboles con mi clase. Planté from the verb plantar. Plantar, which means to plant. Árboles con mi clase. Planted trees with my class. Planted trees with my class. And we recovered trash from the park. Recogimos means to recover or to take something out of somewhere. So we recovered trash from the park. Recogimos basura del parque. If you notice, we're writing in the past tense, right? So all our verbs and sequencing has to model the past tense. Fue una experiencia útil o educativa. It was a very, very useful and educating experience for me. Right? It was very useful and educating experience for me. Creo que, I think my college, creo que, see here, creo que mi colegio debería tener más contenedores. So I believe that my college should have more containers for recycling. Right, so we should have more containers where we can drop in our dirts, our plastic dirts for recycling, and use a lot, or rather use less paper. So we should use less of papers and recycle more plastics. Y también se podrían hacer campanas de concienciación para proteger el medio ambiente. So also we could make awareness campaigns to protect the environment. So they should do campaigns for awareness to protect, just like it serve as a reminder for people to protect the environment in every manner in which they can. And then giving my opinion about cars now, right? And my opinion, always to start, which is a brilliant way to start. Prohibir los coches, prohibiting cars, en mi opinión. Prohibir los coches en mi zona, prohibiting cars in my area. My area has advantages. They have advantages like less contamination, menos meaning less contamination, and more security for children. So less cars, more security for children, and less contamination of the air. But however, this is a but rather something that would happen if cars are prohibited in my area. También sería difícil, it will be difficult, sería bien difícil, también sería muy difícil for some people, para algunas personas que necesitan el coche. It's very difficult for people that need cars, people that are probably trying to move something from one place to another. People that need cars para ir al trabajo. Yes, this is also another example. It will also be difficult for people, algunas personas, some people that need, que necesitan el coche para ir al trabajo, people that need the car to go to work, it will be difficult for them. So the closing sentence is, todos debemos hacer algo para cuidar el planeta. So we need to all do something to care for our planet. So that means everybody must have a role to play in caring for our planet. So this is a very good model answer for this question. A 28-mark question. If you adapt this, practice it, do a little tweak and make it personal to you, things you would do instead of using the things I would do, right? But just using the same frame, I can assure you that you'll be getting your full marks if you practice this and make it perfect with you. So as always, I'm going to be putting the answers in the comment section so you can go there and source for it out if you want to quickly practice it, right? So make sure you always write well, use your connectives, justify your opinions, use your different tenses, and answer your questions in sequence, which is bullet points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also maintain the word count. Okay, with this I can assure you that you're going to be getting your full marks for this writing paper. And on to the next episode. If you have not liked this video, please, I know you get to the end of the video, so like it, subscribe, and also share to your colleagues to also benefit from this class. And until the next episode, continue practicing your Spanish. Best of luck. Hasta luego.